Reset it? Oh, okay. Did you say reset it?
No.
Okay. Reset.
Should be coming now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's going live. All right, cool. I think we're going. So I can close it up? Okay. All right. Are we still going? Yeah. Perfect. Welcome back. Welcome back to our 10th episode of the Premium Advantage.
So 10.
Yeah, let me put this in the
10 episodes already, man. Time flies when you're having fun is what they say, but I don't know if that's necessarily true or just a cliche. And that rhyme, bonus points for me.
Time is subjective.
Yes.
Time is subjective. Welcome back. I have a little bit of a dilemma with regards to today's episode.
What?
Yes, it's a little bit of a dilemma because we have serious topics to discuss, and we have a lineup. And so keeping in mind that today, I heard in the news live from President Biden, there is like urgency in an area where Ukraine and Russia meet or they're entangling. So keeping in mind that, it's like, oh, got all our friends, all our peers. Oh, what's the show? What's the show? What's the show?
Yes.
It's like, okay, what are you going to talk about? Well, the first thing that I wanted to bring up, subscribe. We need you guys to subscribe. Subscribe to the episode. Subscribe to the channel. You get more information, save more time, save more money, get more info. Having said that, there are definitely a lot of topics to talk about. And we have tried to make it into a concise 1 hour deal. This one may go a little bit longer, but it may not. We'll see. We'll try to be as informative and try to minimize the tangents as they come along.
Efficiency.
That's right. Now, something else that I wanted to discuss was the membership. If you live in Texas and you are an entrepreneur and you're interested in developing your business, you don't have a business, you want to move to a business, you have a small business, you want to grow your business, we have memberships available for you. Click the links below, read what they say. If you have questions, send us some info, send us some questions. With that, we have Mr. Jacinto.
Whoop, whoop. Howdy.
And Ms. Netra joining us today as a guest.
Yes, thank y'all for having me. You
Thank
know,
you
you
for
say
coming.
my name 3 times, I always come. So
Bonus points from the very get-go. Love it.
Awesome.
just saying.
Love it.
How are you guys doing?
Blessed. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I feel left out. No one told me to wear my ponytail today. Like,
Yes. I emailed
have
you.
ponytails.
I could have sworn.
there was no inkling of a ponytail needed. You didn't
coulda
say
sworn.
ponytail
You
included.
should have done some research on the show. You saw everybody had a little ponytail.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he knows me. He should have said, because last time I seen Jacinto, he didn't have his. Well, you have a ponytail.
Right.
He has a puny tail.
Oh, that's messed up.
He has like the little 1-year-old baby girl
go back to-
ponytail.
I got a
It's
one-hitter.
So cute,
Go
you
back to
know?
Vegas. Go back to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. It's not growing fast
Come
enough.
back longer.
Oh, little poo-poo.
Exactly. I'm growing. You know, I'm evolving. I'm a growing boy. I'm just going to eat more protein and see if I can grow this ponytail out to a full pony.
You know, if you go on like Amazon, there's this little fake ponytail holder you could buy that'll totally give you girth in your ponytail.
I don't need any girth. I'm girthy. I need more length. DJ Girthy in the mix. Yes.
How intriguing. How intriguing where this conversation started and now where it's going.
My bad.
It's all right. It's
Love
all
it.
right. We'll take it.
No,
We'll take it.
definitely.
What else is going on, fellas? What do you guys want to talk about?
I like to kind of address the comedy scene in Houston. I mean, the
Okay.
entertainment
Okay,
scene in Houston.
entertainment scene in Houston, okay.
Because I don't think a lot of folks know
Yes.
about entertainment scene in Houston.
Yes.
So first of all, stand-up comedy. We're both comedians, and
Yep.
we both do comedy around town. And there's a lot of great comedy out there. There's some fantastic clubs. You can throw them out there. There's the Secret Group. Obviously, the Improv is the one where they have comedy. But there's also places like Rudyard's.
Derek's,
Phil and Derek's. Come on, give us some more.
a Taste Bar and Lounge.
Beer Garden.
Yeah. Then you know what? There's so many underground different places. You know what I'm saying? So it's
The box.
like
I went to the box last night. Did you already mention that?
that's a great point. Is that a lot of people don't know that the Secret Group has stand-up comedy, but they
Okay.
also have a side room in
Yes.
the back for stand-up comedy constantly
wonderful.
because they have music as well. So they'll have a comedy show in the main room and a comedy show in the back, and
Gotcha.
the back is called the box. Is what they
Gotcha.
call it. So you just go around the corner. So if you're not sure, the people at the Secret Group are really great. You can go over there and ask them, hey, I'm looking for a comedy show. There's almost always comedy going on at that
Every night,
facility.
pretty much.
Pretty much every night, right? But there's comedy every night in Houston if you look for it. I know on Facebook we can look at comedy stage time. is one of them. People can look for comedy shows. Do you know any others where people can find shows in Houston?
I mean, you can literally Google it. You know what I'm saying? Like Eventbrite. A lot of us put events on Eventbrite. And that's how I acquire like new fans when I do events that I host or produce or whatever. You know, people literally will go on Eventbrite and whatever is closest to them, oh, snap, a comedy show. So, you know, that's definitely a good way. Because we also like to track whether there's a cover or not.
Right.
You like to, you know, cover your traction, like see who's potentially coming, you know. So, yeah.
I know that Netra 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 comes every time somebody says her name 3
boom.
times.
There it is.
Somebody got it.
That's a callback. I've got it
You
back
know what?
already.
They're going to keep coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to keep on coming.
I'm just glad that you're aware. A lot of men aren't aware
And
when
don't
a woman's
recognize
coming.
that. And how important it is that happens.
Now,
Right,
with regards to comedy, my impression, my understanding with regards to laughter in itself is that it's a bit of a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism
Absolutely.
that people use to kind of relieve some of the stress. And these are stressful times in my perceptions. Like not only that we're not really over COVID, but we're kind of waving through that.
Right.
And then everybody's receiving news and information, and situations keep coming up. That it's kind of like avocados. We're about to go to war about avocados.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or where we're going to go to war on avocados. Can you guys give me some more about that? What do you guys, what
Well,
did you
first
guys
of all,
see?
avocados are delicious, and I will go to war.
I will
good
claw tooth and nail
Oh
for
my
my
gosh.
avocados, right?
Yes.
No, but so did you hear about that? What the avocado short scare that we had, and how there was going to be on the brink of war a couple of days ago?
A week
Oh,
ago.
wow.
I would think in history they go back and they call it the Great Avocado Scare
Yeah.
of
I
2022.
think they will. If not, we're going to go ahead and trademark that.
Right? Well, what history books is this going to be in? Because I know.
The Mexican one.
Okay. In Second Ward, it's going to be on the wall in
The
graffiti.
premium advantage
I
history
didn't
book.
say that. Listen, I don't want to get canceled by my
Cancel me.
Latino, and you know I have 2 little half-breed nieces. That is so rude. I like you people.
You people? Oh, here we go.
It went in there
Here
fast.
we go. That was
They were really fast. The minutes are really
I
here.
don't want to
Not
get
even 10.
canceled. Please
That's
don't.
fast.
Please don't. Yeah,
I'm hella
no,
Mexican,
it's
so
all
I'm
love.
okay. I can
I'm
talk
hella
as much as we
Mexican
want.
too.
We're
I've had
good.
a couple of few.
This is true.
I just think that there's so many. Every time like something comes up, there's so many connections and so much information that we can connect. There's so much learning to do from all these experiences. For example, one of them I would say is the hyperbole.
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 Sure.
it.
You guys know what I'm saying. Is the enhancement of the avocados, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
oh crap! Like,
Right.
Okay. What happened again? Okay, apparently somebody got threatened in Mexico.
A health inspector.
Inspector.
A U.S. health inspector went down to check the avocado situation.
Maybe he lives there. Maybe he lived there.
That's true.
I don't know all the details, and that's what happens. People don't know all the details, so you get like everybody's
you get
running.
mixed messages.
So you start.
Right.
You start.
Communication is yeah.
I feel like we wouldn't be in this war if we communicated better, right? That'd be a whole nother discussion.
There is
Right.
no
A whole
war
nother
just
topic.
yet.
Yeah.
All I
Yeah,
know
but-
is I better be able to get some dang old avocados at HEB.
I just want some good guac at the when I go. You know?
Ooh, wait, do that again.
Guac.
Ooh, do it repetitively.
No, don't do it.
Say it.
When I do it the third time.
Say it 3 times and watch what happens. You'll probably
It's
come.
like Beetlejuice. That's even better.
It's just the sound, you know.
But yeah, nah. So in case y'all didn't know, we get about 80% of our avocados from Mexico.
80. Who's we? Houston
Us,
or like the U.S.
like us three right here.
All right.
80%.
No, right. HEB is Mexico. Right, you're right.
No, United States gets 80% of their
80%, that's a lot.
avocados from Mexico.
Check that. No, check. Okay.
Yeah, let's check that. Check
If
that
it's
fact.
wrong,
Check, we
It's
need
around
to
there.
check Jacinto facts.
It's in there somewhere, I
if
promise.
it's wrong, or if it's off by like a percentage, put it in the description.
We'll put it
Let
in
us
there.
know.
And so this U.S. health inspector went down to Mexico to check on the avocado situation, and the Mexican cartel is getting their hands in there, and so they scared him really badly. He came back to the United States, and the U.S. said, okay, we're cutting off ties. So they canceled the contract of all of our avocados coming from Mexico. The cost of avocados started to spike, and everybody started freaking out, and it started to
I
create
started
this-
buying avocados, eating
Yeah.
avocados. We had like 8
Creating a
avocados.
snowball
I didn't
effect.
want us to
Y'all
go
ain't
bad.
fooling me.
Because they go bad
Are
fast.
we really talking about avocados?
Yes.
With distribution from Mexico
Yes.
to the United States.
Yes.
That does not sound
Yes.
avocado-ish.
Because-
I watched Snowfall, okay?
Yes, yes.
And I remember when the Mexicans was bringing the avocados over into LA, it was dope in there. So
Right.
please.
Right.
let's call a spade a spade.
No.
We're not talking
No,
avocados.
we are straight talking because here's the thing.
Okay, avocados. Wink, wink.
Weed is legal now.
I feel
That's
like I
right.
want to
With
address
my
it.
pressure.
Weed is legal
It's not
now.
legal in Texas.
It is in California. So
Okay,
here's the
so-
problem. Well, let me finish. Here's the problem. The cartel is no longer investing in weed because it's legal in California. They're now investing in avocados. This is the
Shut
problem.
the
Google it. Google it.
Google it.
Straight up.
I mean,
And-
if
and-
it's
and
wrong,
so-
if they're
I'm sorry.
if the
I'm
cartel-
just saying, when it comes to vices, I've
Sure,
heard
sure.
of weed,
Avocados,
alcohol,
avocados.
Sex.
genitalia,
Right.
and now avocados. We are at a really.
The world is ending.
You know what? Oh my gosh. Oh.
At least
Oh
have
my
some
gosh.
good flavor on it. Have some
Oh
good
my
flavor.
gosh.
Enjoy it with some good flavor.
So
Yes.
here's what happened. This was like a couple days ago, and then like was it yesterday when we had our meeting on Thursday?
Yeah.
A couple days ago, the U.S. backtracked and said, "My bad."
Was it a backtrack?
I don't know what you want to
I
call it.
have some theories.
Whatever you want to call it.
You
just
better not
forget
say
it.
renege.
I have some theories. We'll go through those. So fast.
So whatever you want to call it, they said let's keep this contract going, and decided not to cause this huge avocado
because there was
scare.
a
I know,
cocaine
I-
shortage.
That's what it
They
was.
keep
I already
talking
know how it
about
all went down.
avocados,
I know
but
how it
they're
all
not
went down.
fooling me.
We'll talk about it in a little bit.
You know what? The
All of that
cartel's
in a
gonna
little
put a
bit.
bomb underneath my Honda. I'm sorry, cartel. I was not talking to you guys.
Cartel
We're talking
rocks.
avocados.
Avocados are a whole different story.
now-
Dang.
90.
90.
Higher.
How?
90%.
Okay.
Thank you. It increased. Oh wow, it increased. You see, so it was possibly an artificial
It's about
inflation.
supply and
An
demand.
arti-
For
so
sure.
bam.
For sure. Always. It's always about that.
You said it. It's
Always.
about supply and demand.
Yes.
Correct. The oldest two words that bring conflict into our societies. In my perception, this war situation is brought in by supply and demand.
Absolutely.
It is not like items or stuff and like request. It is supply and demand. If we can't get it, we're gonna demand it.
Kind
And
of
so-
like the McRib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
sure.
when the
they
McRib
take
is
it
out,
away.
you know, when they take it away, you be like, I need
Good.
a McRib.
Right,
And then
right.
when it comes
But
back,
it's there,
you're
you're like,
excited. Right.
Yeah, no, it is. It happens every
But
time.
when they take it away, you're like, I was
It
just
goes back
about
to vices. It goes back to vices with regards to we want the avocados. Like, I mean, you're not gonna, Maslow is the guy with the pyramid. Avocados at the very bottom. but there's other stuff around avocado. You can eat other stuff. I'm just saying.
This doesn't taste as good.
Are we still talking avocados?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
We just went back.
I
Supply
don't know.
and demand.
Oh,
We
supply and
moved to
demand.
supply and
Oh, yeah.
demand.
Supply and demand.
That's
You brought it
always
to the table. I love that you brought it to the table first. That's good.
Hey, I failed economics once, and I got it the
All
you
you
time
need.
in night school.
Oh, for real? At night school.
Deadass.
Shout out to night school.
Yeah. You know, class of '96.
I get it. How interesting this all is. Now we have the actual potential for real war happening, not
Right.
our war, but it has real potential detrimental situations that are coming up. And I mean, I don't know how much lobbying we're gonna do because in the sense of the stress relieving, we're gonna need to connect somehow. And I'm thinking, yeah, let's talk about the reality of it and connect the dots when it's like, oh, we're all kind of in this. We need to
You know,
be
we're all
aware.
kind of lucky with social media because you can get laughter instantly now.
Right.
You know, back in the day,
Sure,
you would
yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
either, call your uncle and let him say whatever or pop in a VHS or even a DVD, if you will. But
What is a VHS?
okay, a very high species. I don't know, but I'm saying but now all you got to do is just turn on your phone. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole entertainment section on the
Sure,
news.
sure.
They got, TikTok now. Like everybody's doing TikTok. They got grandmas doing TikToks. They got grandpas doing like everybody's doing TikTok but me. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's not too late.
it's you know what I feel
Start
like
right
now. Yeah. Okay, look, whatever. But I mean, and earlier you mentioned us. We have a lot going on in the world, and so you mentioned laughter being a defense mechanism, and it totally is. And so the world needs to be thanking comedians and people that like to infiltrate things through laughter because
Absolutely.
we actually need this.
Absolutely.
A lot of people go through a lot of different stuff. I just recently lost two important men in my life, my father and my boyfriend, and I have been laughing through this whole thing. Now, while it was going on, it wasn't funny.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
understand.
funny now,
Right,
and
right.
that's going to be the name of my new,
You're special.
yes, it wasn't funny back then, but it's funny now.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, I'm working on that. But you know, we have to laugh. You know,
Right.
like myself. You know, I had a growth spurt. I've been 5'9" since 4th grade, dude.
Oh, wow, okay, wow.
So I had to have a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying?
So you're just towering over kids, just like moving them out
you know
of the
what
way.
I'm saying? Like if you see my
That's
4th grade
awesome.
school picture, me and my teacher
Right
are
next to
on
you,
the side.
right.
No, we're on the sides.
Yeah.
I look like a teacher's aide.
you're
I
like
don't
an
look like a
assistant.
student. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I understand.
I had to come up with ways to like protect myself.
Yeah.
And being funny was a way. You know, hell, I was bigger than everybody else. I could have been a bully, but
Yeah.
that wasn't. I was like a gentle giant.
Aww.
I think it's also the
Yeah.
cleverer way too. I think like it's the most efficient way to not super create a conflict where you're like making people laugh. And if you create your adversary to some degree, you know.
But we want to be offensive sometimes.
Sure,
Well,
you know
that's
what
true.
I'm saying?
That's
You
true.
Like,
gotta
Make a
push
good
the
point.
envelope.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
it.
sometimes that comedy is what gets to certain people.
Yeah,
like
that's
that
true.
blue
Oh.
comedy, like that the
That's a good
darker it is, you know what I'm saying? That
yeah, yeah.
resonates really with white people. But
Oh.
I mean, but
I
it
gotcha.
resonates, you know,
I
and some
understand.
people
You know it's good when you
have
have to
that.
whisper it.
You know, I'm just saying.
I know.
That's
You
good, that's
know.
good.
No, but
Very
Treps,
intriguing.
you know, and since the beginning of time, comedians, that's been their job, to call out the king, to call out the
jester. I guess there was a jester back-
It was
yeah,
always
that's true.
it was always their
To
job
relieve the
call
pressure,
to
to
relieve the
relieve the
pressure, to
pressure.
talk about the things that nobody wants to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about,
yeah.
and it's
Little
evolved.
history there. I wasn't
But
aware,
but
yeah.
comedy has evolved
Yeah.
because you know, like back in the day, if you ever watch an old Saturday Night Live episode, they're not even funny.
Yeah.
It's just Chevy Chase falling down.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean,
back
some
back
hit
in
this one, but most of the
you know
time,
what I
yeah.
mean. Compared to, I mean, not necessarily Saturday Night Live, but my point is,
yeah, I
comedy
know.
has evolved. Back in the day, you see a sitcom and people just fall down and people would laugh.
Yeah.
You know what? Back in
Right?
the day, we were hella boring.
That's
like,
true.
Women couldn't wear we were
Right.
hella boring. We can do anything now.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I-
you can make fun of anything now. You just gotta. I always say you can say anything to anybody. It's about presentation.
It has to be
It's-
about
it's about-
presentation.
Right. It's
And
about how you present it.
It's also about not just about presentation, but about what's been done before. Okay,
Yep.
so it's
Precedence.
All
possible.
comedy has been
Precedence.
done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely.
So it depends on also who sees it, right, for the first time, right? So if it's somebody that's never seen somebody fall and then now sees Chevy Chase fall for the first time because
Right.
they barely got their hands on a VHS. A VHS is a device where you put a cassette.
Thank you.
It's a cassette, it's plastic, it's got a little tape. You can, right? You can
Voluptuous human specimen. Is that what it was?
put it in the
VHS.
tape. Yeah. What made Blockbuster rich, I think.
Yes.
So nonetheless,
I see what you mean.
It has to the end. It goes back to supply and demand. Even the whole thing goes back to that in some aspect. Even the social media conversation that we had, which is supply and demand of entertainment and time. It's like, oh, how much time do I have for this entertainment versus the reality, and do I mix these two in a way where I get the information
You know,
and I'm still
and something in between both of y'all that's new now is cancel culture. Like I'm all about everything I want to say coming off the dome, just spitting what I can.
do it.
And-
I got some very ignorant things
but the
that
thing
I be
is,
wanting to say.
we
but I
we got
can't
to
do it.
exactly right, like because cancel culture has changed the way comedians can act these days. There's there's so many people in trouble, very big comedians who are in deep trouble, and you want to go into that list of comedians. There's so many that I could just rattle off, but it's a strange world where even comedians can't say what they really want to say because of cancel culture.
Again, it's all about presentation.
Yeah.
And how can you cancel me if I don't care though? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I get it. Like, it's just a group of people that are like, I don't like him. It's no different than, when you were a kid. Cancel culture is the same difference. Like,
Right.
people like Dave Chappelle is like, no, you can't cancel me. Y'all are mad. He's going to go make a special about it. He got 4 new ones or something
Right.
like that coming
Right.
up. So, it's about how you doing. Like, freedom of speech is one thing,
Yes.
and then you always have somebody that they are the rule to the exception.
well.
What
Freedom of
do you mean,
speech-
like the yelling fire in a theater, like that type of thing, or what do you mean?
right, like it's always somebody that's it's funny until it's them. It ain't so fun until
Yeah.
the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah, right.
and,
I get that,
until
right.
they can laugh at everybody else, but let you call them out on that one little thing that's not even. Oh, you got a mole on your ear. They're gonna snap, and they want the world to snap at you too. This goes out to all the people who got a mole on their ear.
Yeah,
right.
They had a march for small penis men, for God's sake. Like
yeah, I
people
heard about
come
that.
together for anything nowadays.
In Japan or
Literally,
something,
they
right?
come together.
Where was that?
No, this was in there. I think
United
it was
States?
Yes.
What?
Yes, where they had the small penis march.
Well, I heard it in Asia that the Asian women were protesting because they still can't get jobs over there. So they protested.
What kind of jobs are we talking about? Is this still supply and demand?
Are we still talking about avocados?
It's absolutely supply and demand.
Are we still talking about avocados?
Absolutely.
You could call it whatever you
So
want.
the emoji, the pinky emoji, became their rally sign. So they made flags and T-shirts with this,
snap.
and all kinds of. I think it was in Korea. I have to Google that cue. I'm not sure, but they
pinky with my.
Yeah,
they made
Oh
fun
my
of
gosh.
so these men in Korea started getting they started protesting themselves, saying that women were being disrespectful to them for having a small penis.
Well,
like what?
I'm just saying, everybody knows that most Asians have small penises. Cancel me if you want to. Cancel me if you want to.
Controversial statement.
I mean, it's just facts. Number one. Number two, this march was everybody. They had men, like black men, white men. They had one sign said Jesus had a small penis. Like
what?
It was.
Why you gotta bring Jesus into this?
I'm just saying, we don't know what was underneath that robe,
don't.
sir.
We don't.
He did have women disciples, though. He had a lot of.
So
them.
we don't know if he had a third leg or if he was, packing a Vienna sausage.
Or it's one of those things that women, you don't have to be. I keep telling men, you don't have to be what you think you have to be in the bed.
Right.
If we like you,
it's gonna go down.
You.
Exactly.
We like you.
Exactly.
We're gonna scissor if we have to. If we like you, fellas, we're gonna.
Shout out to scissoring. That's a good point.
So I noticed you guys are flowing like from conversation to conversation. Like we went to.
I mean, that's how
we
my
went from
brain
the
goes on
avocados,
drugs.
Then we went to like back in time, and then we went back and forwards, and then are we still talking about avocados?
We could be.
No, we were talking about supply and demand. We were talking about the war.
Yes.
And then somehow we ended up with Koreans and
Small penises.
right, and then
It was about freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. That's what we're talking about. Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Yes.
And then we went into like 10 different items on freedom of speech.
Ooh, us tangent? No.
So the freedom of speech is a situation with regards to the state and the people, right? So the people have the right to cancel the people if they want to cancel, but the state in itself cannot tell you can't say it unless you're creating maybe like a harm to somebody else, where it's like fire, like something that you were mentioning.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, correct. So that's my impression with regards to freedom of speech. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to, and the cop can't tell you anything supposedly, or they can't make a law to stop you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But somebody else can come and like punch you in the mouth. It's like oh. And then they can get there's a law to protect them, to protect you against that. Where it's like, well, he said something, and then I said it.
You're right.
Went there.
Just avocados have loopholes.
They do. And most of those comedians that got canceled, they were doing stupid things outside of the mic. It wasn't like they were up there saying horrible things. Yeah. It was what they did outside, and they're already established comedians.
On top of that, it's again supply and demand. The market. If the market is saying, the comedian market, the entertainment market is saying, hey, we got these awesome comedians that are like kicking butt, helping society, paying into nonprofit organizations, doing all this type of stuff, and we have these other comedians that are not doing any of that and talking mess about everybody else negatively and kind of not affecting society. So cancel society cancels it in some degree.
It's so crazy though, because for the entertainment industry, it's all about getting butts in the seats. So no matter what you did, if you got butts in the seats, you're gonna keep going.
Okay.
And that's the special part. That's what didn't happen with Louis C.K. It didn't happen with Aziz. Is they did these weird things outside of their realm, and then they tried to come back, and people didn't show up.
Gotcha.
But some comedians who have done horrible things are back, and people started coming, so they keep flowing.
I think it also has to do with regards to like the amount of content that people kind of look back on, right? So if you look
back, the amount
of
content,
the amount of content, correct. Meaning, like if you go back and it's like you can. I think you can always go back into somebody's life, and if they're constantly recording themselves and going into the camera, you're gonna be able to find 5
something.
to 30 seconds of some kind of content that is gonna be offensive to
you
somebody.
can take out of context and make sound crazy.
Yeah,
Sure,
correct.
Sure.
No, I mean no.
Even within context,
even within context, right? Because you don't know, because these situations kind of are live, I guess, to some degree.
Sure.
And they're reactive, right? So you only have one way to respond. You cannot give your two answers at the same time to one person. So if you're getting challenged with a question or you're talking and things are flowing, sometimes you're going to say something, even in context, for a small period of time, potentially, if you're doing it over a long period of time. Now, if you're consistently doing it, then that's what creates the pattern. And you can go back and go, nah, there's a pattern here that we don't like. Cancel it. Even though you're cool now because you know but there's a history 10 years now.
That's why when you get a deal with ABC or Disney, they go back before you even sign it, and you have to delete all kinds of tweets and posts and all kinds of stuff, and then you can sign it. They have someone who goes back into all your stuff to look it up first.
Don't even start applying it.
My whole career would be deleted.
I'm like, I ain't got nothing left then if you'll take all my old stuff.
Well, what do you want me for?
Why am I here?
You swiped everything. You just want me to sing the Little Mermaid? Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Do your role.
No, that's exactly it.
All right, so, right. We started the show with serious information, and we went into avocado, which was serious for a little while.
It was.
Then it became kind of funny. Now I'm like, oh crap. Now it's serious again because again we're at the brink of potential war in many types.
I think you're right. You're right.
And so, what do you guys think about that? I'm curious. I mean, did you guys listen to the deal today? I was listening to it before I came over here. I was like, oh, crap.
You mean like the Russia deal?
Yeah, the Russia, Ukraine, US, and the NATO, and all that other good stuff.
I mean, I get it, but I'm not like realistically affected. Like I'm over in my apartment, like watching Netflix.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not really into politics of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I understand how it affects the world in a sense, but I was more concerned that Kanye said he wanted to go to Russia as opposed to
why would he want to go to Russia?
Dual residency or some type of.
Are you serious? That dude has lost his mind.
Listen, y'all need to watch his documentary. But anyway,
it's on my list. I'm gonna watch it. I want to see it.
It's good times.
After he kicked off what's her face from the stadium or from the when she was getting her award, I was like, I'm not gonna be
Look, you're a part of canceled. You canceled Kanye. You canceled Kanye on.
You're talking about Taylor Swift?
Yeah, whenever
that was like 10 years ago.
Right.
From then, it's not like I'm. First of all, it's not like I want to follow people, right? It's not like I want to follow, right? So then after that, I was like, oh, well, I'm okay.
But it's more like a car wreck, right? Yeah, watching that, it's like it's entertaining because it's such a just hot mess.
It is, but then it kind of tells character and to some degree to go up there.
Is there lessons to be learned from this documentary, or is it just all car wreck?
From Kanye?
For the Kanye one, yeah.
I mean, this was someone who chronicled his career from day one.
Sure.
Oh, like this is like a documentary of beginning Kanye, like when he not just from car wreck. Like there's a guy, he's actually a comedian out of Chicago who quit doing stand-up comedy to follow Kanye because he believed in him. Yeah. And then all these years later, and now they have this documentary that they're putting out. So it's a cool doc.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I mean, you know, when somebody has a very high artistic imagination, right? And I would say, even though I didn't like that situation, I was I still dance to the songs, you know? I still dance to the songs. It's good
boy music. Has good beats.
It has good beats, right? And so I think everybody does that.
Sure.
And but with regards to like giving it my attention or giving it my care, I've got bigger things to worry about than Kanye, right? Like
Kanye. I like how you said it.
Kanye, whatever.
Kanye.
Dude is Russian now.
Put the accent at the end. Kanye. I love it. I love it.
All I'm saying is,
I feel you.
The news today was about some potential situations that are going to affect everybody. Like in my perception.
So that's a valid. Can you like get deeper into that? That's a great thing. How are average Americans who are just chilling watching Netflix going to be affected by this war? Correct. What do you think?
What I would say is I wouldn't open any emails that look like come from Russia. Okay,
copy that.
In a sense of like you're watching Netflix and we don't know the extent of what this is gonna, how deep this character, Mr. Putón. In my mind, I think
Mr. Who? Can you say his name again? I didn't understand.
In my mind, he's Putón because he's causing problems. He's defending whatever he's defending.
Does that mean anything?
Yes.
What does it mean?
There's the word puto in there.
Right, okay. But when you say it like y'all are saying it, like
it's a pun. It's like Putin with a puto in it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So like Putin is like diminutive, like a little Putin, but he's a big Putón.
Yeah, like
and
a little
this guy offs like all his competition.
Right.
And so right now we are his competition in my perception. Like we're in this. You kept saying U.S. right? The avocados, right? I wouldn't doubt it. They freaking already called the Mexican cartels. Like, hey, they let you guys back in with that avocado, huh?
He's got the hookup.
You don't think so, huh?
Interesting.
You don't think so, huh? You're watching Netflix. Watch how it starts turning into little characters. Where it's like, oh, it's
well, my subscription just went up $3. Like I'm upset about that. My Prime
that's
went up.
That's him doing it.
That's the Putón.
My Prime, I blame them. But you know what? This is like the circle of life because you know who started it. You know who picked the scab was
Kanye?
Orange Man. Avocados.
Orange Man.
With
Right.
that dual citizen application, he started this mess. It's like, oh, Kanye's in the team?
That's the problem.
Go get Ukraine.
Let's just get him out of here and we'll be good, man.
Hey, he did run for president.
That's
true.
true.
He did run for president.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, it's just like, I got the next president coming. No. We got Ukraine
We got
coming.
it. We got this.
We should have went with Kanye.
Oh, yes. That's what's happening. Crap. Oh, man. Can you imagine if Kanye, I don't know how many votes he would have been able to pull. But he's trying to pull.
You'd be surprised.
You know what? He pulled all of Southside Chicago.
That's a good amount.
Well, you know what? Okay, so this was
million.
my life. Majority of them, at least, the ones that could actually vote. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were gonna say read and write.
So this was my logic. Like you know what? He should have stayed on Kim's side. You are married to the most influential woman, what her influence is.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is the most popular woman in the world.
Right.
And she felt like she couldn't endorse him.
Right.
But if she would have endorsed him, like seriously?
Yeah.
Like, I think it would have had an impact, dead ass. Like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she's trying to get into you know, like criminal justice and stuff like that. So
she passed the bar, I believe.
No, I don't think she took it yet.
I thought she passed it.
I think she's still playing lawyer. I don't know. She's toying with the idea, maybe, but not 100%. But don't quote me on that.
She's trying to be like her daddy. In case y'all don't know who are young out there, there's a person named O.J. Simpson. Google it, and that's the reason why Kim Kardashian has money. Continue.
Yeah, her father was very famous, like very rich. But yeah, you know, so
He was the attorney that represented O.J. Simpson?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so
He's
we didn't
one
already
of
mention
them.
that, but he was
So
the
the
attorney that
NFL money all got switched into Kardashian money.
well,
Have you got? By the way, whenever you mention the whole situation with Kim, is that why they separated, because she didn't endorse him? Is that what
no,
created
they
that
were
little-
already having problems.
right.
But what I'm saying is, if he was able to, maybe control the situation and be like, "Yo, this is good for both of us."
Yeah.
But you know, people love each other until they have kids. When kids are intertwined, nobody cares
Isn't
about
that
each
crazy
other.
how that
no more. Like,
happens?
yeah. So it's like, you know, they have kids together. So now there's like a power struggle or whatever. But I just think that if she would have stood by her man, you know, hell, what George W. Bush wife stood through his fuckery of an election. So
true.
like, if Kim would have stood by him, it would have also influenced more people to get on the voting rim, because she does have a young audience.
She does.
She has four
I
sisters.
gotcha. But to be realistic, thank goodness that
We
somehow.
had Trump as president, sir. Anybody could
That's
be president.
true, and I'm not saying
An
that that's not true.
avocado can be president.
I'm down for that.
The question
Avocado
is,
2024.
The question is that who we want? Like at the top of us leading.
We
us?
won't know until we get there. There's a lot of things you don't know walking into.
That's
You know what?
true,
That's
but
the
what people said
problem.
about
Like
Trump,
a lot
and then
of
we got a
time,
bunch of crap. And then it was like, oh yeah, well maybe, but then no.
you know what? A lot of people still want the same old school big wigs, but you know, this new generation is more like vocal about their things.
Sure.
You know,
Social
so
media
I
gives
think
him a power.
Right.
So you know, like
the communication.
Sure.
when they started incorporating like the celebrities back in the day, you know, with Puffy with the vote or die and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Rock
if
the
they
boat.
would have, now I'm not saying I don't know if Kanye could be president or not. Like,
No.
you
Oh, my
really don't
goodness,
know.
no. Oh, my
Somebody
goodness,
could come
no.
in here.
Oh my goodness, no!
I-
Shut it
hey,
down!
listen.
Shut it down!
It's all over.
Listen, if you've ever seen the movie, it was a movie
Hell no.
it was called Head of State by Chris Rock.
Okay, yeah.
Where they took a alderman and turned him into a presidential candidate.
Yes.
I believe the government can do that to whoever they want to. Hence
Yeah, I mean,
George W.
potentially,
Bush.
but he's
Hence,
still-
you know, whatever.
Yeah, but George W. Bush had
Kanye's
two
not
people.
ideal, and we're not an ideal nation
George
no more.
W. Bush had two people that groomed the situation for it to happen the way that they did. You know, George W. Bush had
Kanye
Cheney.
had Obama.
Yeah, but these guys were professional freaking politicians from the scratch.
And is that a good thing, son? Because last time I
No,
checked,
right,
politicians were assholes and crooks.
What I'm saying,
And that's what Trump run on. That's part of what
true.
he was using as his
right.
like.
I'm not
So
saying
we
that
I'm
allow
not a
that
politician.
fuckery, but we won't
Right.
allow Kanye fuckery.
I mean,
I'm not standing for it.
What you're saying?
Avocado 2024. We'll make a T-shirt.
Okay. Hold on. Back to center. I'm all clapping. Like, hold on. What? I know. We lost it. We're talking about the war, Ukraine, right?
Avocado.
How's it going to affect you?
How's it going to affect us?
Right. Your wallet is going to hit everybody's wallet.
It's happening now with the
I've
gas
been broke
prices.
my whole life, son.
Now, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind.
Natural gas is going to go
up. So the main word that I heard were sanctions.
Oh, right.
We're gonna
what
sanction,
a joke,
right?
dude.
There's
what a
sanction.
joke.
Well, I wouldn't call it a joke. I
think it is, man, because he's about to invade. He's about to blow people's doors up and explode. And Biden's like, and we sanctioned him. He's gonna and we'll check on it in a month.
Well, the thing
they're attacking tonight. How are you gonna check on it in a month?
I never do impressions.
That was a terrible impression of Biden. By the way.
I never do, and I think I have an impression of Biden for the last. Maybe yes, my very first impression of a president.
Can we zoom in to his face for this impression?
My very first impression last week of Biden. Are you guys ready?
I believe so. Here we go.
Here's Biden in the center room where the information room is, right?
You need a prompt? You need me to ask you a question, Mr. President?
No.
Okay.
No, looking at the screen. Oh. Avocados. Get that out of my face! Get that avocados! Memo out of my face and fix it! Fix it right now!
It came on the teleprompter.
Man.
Avocado.
I was not expecting that.
We're playing for keeps! How much sanctions? Get on the sanctions! This is my impression of Biden last week.
Great
when
job.
the avocado memo came into him.
Round of applause, folks.
He
when the avocado
deserves
came in. Situation.
to
And now the
win.
avocado system is gone.
Make sure you tip your
We're still
bartender.
with this
We'll be here
whole
all night.
Ukraine situation.
Well,
It kind of sounded like Biden if he was on an episode of Snowfall.
I haven't seen this show and I have to watch it now.
God.
Now you
I
got
only saw the first one. I got so many things I got to watch. But had he been like that, if Biden was like that,
dude, bet.
that'd
What's
be
the bet?
different. That'd
Maybe
be
not with so
different.
much.
I'd be so
but I'm
down
pretty
for
sure
that.
you're like, what the
Yeah,
thing? I don't expect
exactly. Yeah, man. So what? So we got gas prices, natural gas prices,
right.
food prices. That's the only way it's gonna affect us.
Essential water cannot increase. I cannot.
Shout out to Essential Water.
I'm sorry. I've already paid $25 for
I was looking for filtration mechanisms.
bottles.
I was looking for filtration mechanisms.
Good Lord.
Filtration mechanisms so your water can be clean. Make sure because a society
I just needed to be alkaline friendly.
That's a whole nother story.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, water. That's a whole nother topic. I think we'll save that one for a whole podcast. Water. That's a special one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Netflix going up in price. Thanks, Putón.
Putón.
minimize your apps, right? If you start seeing like Russian movies, cancel that one. You say, hey, no, sanction.
So don't click on Russian stuff.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna sanction, we gotta sanction all together.
So we have to cancel Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, he's not Russian though.
He's Austrian.
Oh.
He's just from Austria.
Austrian.
Isn't that the same thing?
It's down the
It's
street.
like black and Jamaican.
It's like South
Kinda
Park
the same
to
difference?
Sunnyside. It's just
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Russian? We
Kanye.
have to cancel.
Cancel Kanye if he applied for dual citizenship.
We have to cancel vodka.
Oh, isn't the...
Oh,
we can't do that.
No, girls
Cancel
like
vodka.
vodka. You know girls
We
like
can't
that
do
vodka. Woo!
Oh, we can't do that,
Mexico
dude.
picked up, they put the tequila.
Oh,
can't do that.
they want to pick and choose what they want to support from the Russians.
Vodka, Russian models.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
That's about it.
We know they did not vote for Kanye.
Russian or the prize. No Russian or the prize. Nah.
Yep.
Oh my God, great! So that's all Russia provides.
Sanctions.
One of
Vodka
Trump's
brides?
ex-wife, like one of his wives was Russian.
Right. So
So-
that's wow. Shout out to Russia. I didn't know that all they provide that to us. That's interesting.
There you go. Now we all.
What about the
learning
Russian on
something, the
Rocky?
premium advantage.
Oh, the Russian on Rocky. I know he's American.
Brigitte
Oh, yeah, but we
Nielsen,
beat
is
that
she
one.
Russian? Or she just looks
Bridget
like a big
Nielsen
Russian?
might be
Yeah, I don't
Russian.
know. I don't know.
She's Argentinian. She's
she? I wouldn't
no.
know.
She's like she's whatever
She
Arnold
might be from Ukraine.
Schwarzenegger is.
Oh,
she's
I
just
don't
a
know.
big.
Well, Arnold's Austrian. I know that.
Austrian.
And he speaks German.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's different.
So the wars. Oh, crap. I noticed a pattern, by the way. As I'm looking like the regional crap, I gotta educate myself. I'm gonna be live for the premium advantage.
Live
So
and direct.
there's a little pattern with Russia. Apparently, every world war they've been involved in. World War
Interesting.
I. Yes, World War I was a dispute between some kind of territories, very similar to now, and they're actually applying very same techniques, very same communication techniques, which are sort of what would I say, propagandas, right? The same thing that they do
Propaganda?
with us, the same thing that the marketing companies do with us.
Of their people or of
Premium
the
advantage, subscribe. The
of
same
the-
thing that
subscribe. Wait, propaganda of their own people, or propaganda of the people that they're invading?
The U.S. is evil. We're all evil, right? Ukraine is invading us. Things of that nature, and that's the same playbook.
Oh, I heard like in World War I, they would fly over and drop papers and be like, these people are evil.
Now they're doing it to social media, and they're doing it all over. Yes, right.
But they're using the same technique.
I mean, it's the same technique, just differently. I mean, it's what you have to do in order to be able to rationalize it. Keeping in mind, we may be on the same boat with regards to, it's not Putón, we're the evil ones. And then he's like, I pay $1,000 for my Netflix, guys. Why you paying only 10? Maybe he's mad about that.
I find it fascinating that folks today still, you know how we talked about like the evolution of comedy, how falling down isn't funny anymore, right? Okay. I feel like are people still believing propaganda? Like, because it's so, you know what I mean? Like to this day, when I see a commercial and it's like bye, I'm like, I ain't buying that. Like as soon as I know they're trying to pitch me something, I'm out.
That's right.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. It's because it's the going around it where it's not so direct. Right? Wow. And so what happens? Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say that was the science to me behind my website name, Netra Netra.
What's that?
Like the repetitiveness of it, it's like so catchy.
It's still works.
You're doing it too? You're doing it too?
Right. I mean, and so I also bought Netra 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 with the I because depending on who you are, you'll spell Netra. So either way you spell it, you're going to get to me.
You did I-E and E-I?
I just did I-E. Most people do with an I. They spell N-I-T-R-A. But it's N-E-T-R-A.
Yeah, I know that.
Right. And then I had Miss Already, so they're all together. Whatever you type in, that's what I'm saying. Like the repetitive, just think of, even like with music.
Yes,
you only those like a song,
tunes,
right?
They repeat it over and over again.
So that's what that's a sales pitch. That's beautiful. Something that's we
all do it.
Love it.
But
even those TikTok songs.
I don't even want to say he. But
have you noticed those TikTok songs? Like it's almost like there's hardly any rapping. It's just the hook. Yeah, and they repeat the hook over and over and over again.
And if these YT people knew what the extent of the song that they up there thinking they're doing dances to, they don't know the next verse says "throw baby." Right. They don't know. They just know this one little part. They'll be appalled if they heard the whole song.
This is true.
But it's all about selling.
Yes. Yeah. And so right. So right now it's being sold, and right now today I was sold. The speech that I gave was a little bit of propaganda with regards to why we are on the, right side of this, or if this situation doesn't happen this way, we're not gonna like it later. You know what I'm saying? And that situation is happening over there. And
what do you mean like it later as far as what we're dealing with now or the future future conflicts?
Correct. If we don't put a stop to this situation with regards to Ukraine, because there's aggression where they're trying to redraw the borders because the country has like a strategic advantage. If we don't stop that now, it's going to make things worse. Because
here in the United States,
of course, everywhere. Even though this conflict is over there, it's actually a strategic location where it has good value for the entire.
You're talking like chess versus checkers.
It is.
Right?
You hit it on the head. Right. Correct. Right. The check is it's a more complicated chessboard, but essentially it's like I got Crimea, which he got 4 years ago, which is a port in the Black Sea. Now he's like, I'm gonna get another piece without firing. That was the comment. I'm gonna take over this little peninsula, which is gonna give me all this access, and I'm not gonna fire a shot. Obama was president. Obama's gonna go to war against Putón. No. So now he's testing the other side because NATO the memorandum came out that they were gonna support so that Ukraine joins NATO, and bam, right away. NATO means protective situation. Means, and then the argument is, Putón is like, I'm not going to go to Mexico and put missiles over there. You guys are going to come to Ukraine. And it's like, the chess game. We're on the white side, or we're on the white. It's not really a white-black situation. We're all mixed in this situation. Yes.
Well, I'm excited. For the outcome. No, seriously, because because I feel like this is gonna be a great learning experience for everybody, for the whole world.
One where
because we have so much technology now, and we communicate so efficiently now. To have a war,
we need to be informed. That's what we need to be informed. Now that we're aware, how they can get us.
Who is the informant? Because if we allow the media to inform us, then it's going to be an issue.
We check our sources. You check your sources, so I'm not in a bubble, right? I'm in a bubble.
We know that some of these media outlets that are checked sources are bogus and definitely swayed.
Specifically with the Russians, they were the ones trying to adjust the election with all those fake Facebook pages back in.
That's cyber attacks.
And that's what they're good at is cyber stuff.
There's going to be more of that. So we just have to be understanding that this is a situation that is potentially upon us. It may not happen. None of it. They may come back in 2 weeks. The avocados are back, or whatever situation. Ukraine is gone.
So you're saying it's the better safe than sorry situation is what we're at.
I'm not saying. I'm saying is we need to be informed.
Yeah.
And how do we check our sources from various sides, right? That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to have that international correspondent into the show, because that way we get the information from what the media gives them in other countries, right? So we get other countries, we get you with your, and when you can do a VPN clean, where your history is clean, but then you start from scratch and you search, right? So we check our sources, we balance it out, and then you tell me, you correct me. Hey, and if you listeners are listening to us and it's the wrong information, or we're unbalanced some way, share it.
Yes.
Right. And please
subscribe in a nice way.
For the sake of avocados.
That's a good idea.
For real. At 1,000 subscribers, everybody subscriber gets an avocado.
Boom. Oh my God.
I said it.
Okay. Well, we just said supply and demand, and I know
Roberto
I've
just
seen
said that.
organic avocados.
So that means I have to go get them.
No, I have to put a time limit on that.
You're going to drive to Mexico and get your own avocados?
I'm not in the cartel anymore.
3 months. Yeah. If we do it in 3 months, everybody gets an avocado.
I'm down with it.
You're going to be shaking down farmers markets.
I'm just going to go to HEB and just load up on those 77-cent ones.
No, you're going to have to give them Aldi avocados.
Oh. Shout out to JR.
Aldi avocados. They're a little different. Kind of like Ross and like Macy's.
Oh, goodness. That's a big difference, though.
Well, no. I mean,
Ross
the clothes that are sold in Ross were sold in Macy's at one point. Either they didn't sell
so they
or
just
they
got
were a little irregular.
Ones. Got it.
Right.
So I liked Ross. I like going to Ross.
Me too.
I
can be a bad bitch for less than $15.
That should be their slogan.
Right.
From now on. Ross, did you hear that, Ross? That is your new slogan. I guarantee you every woman in America will come to your stores when they hear that and hire this woman right here to be your spokesperson.
Is Ross still open? Is that store still open?
Yeah, actually, I just went there the other day.
I live in there at least 4 times a week.
Oh, okay.
I had to go get a bathing suit the other day. It comes in handy. It really does.
There's one off of 610 and 59, right? Isn't there?
There's everything off 610
There's a Ross everywhere, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Taking
Next to a Five Below, you live your best life. You go in there and get you a shirt for the club and the charger at Five Below.
Living my best life.
You're out of there.
Yes.
Now you pick up a little snack on the ride out.
I ain't going back.
You go inside of there, get the candy for your munchies after.
I like it.
Shoot.
Okay. Well, that was intense, guys.
I love it.
Intense. Got a little warm over there. All right, cool. So we talked about this potential situation that we. That's one of the other things. Is everybody getting dragged into it, right? Getting emotional over like, oh yeah, let's do it, let's protect it. Well, hold on, like our country just pulled out of Afghanistan, I believe, right? So it's like fresh little situations. Our economy is kind of we changed the interest rate we're starting to increase a little bit for home purchases and things of that nature.
Right.
So like
cars.
war costs money, So sanctions and just cancel or cancel whatever Russian situation. Try to minimize that. And I'm just saying this is the first step that I heard on TV today.
No, but it's fascinating how it was affected a couple of days ago with just the anticipation of this happening. How the market was just all over the place because of anticipation of it.
My thought is, oh man, it's a crypto situation, right?
People feel crypto.
Yes, because right. It's like sanctions, but you can't really sanction those environments. You know what I'm saying? So that
it's
environment
also
becomes
timing too, because they always want to start a war right before the summer,
right.
So that way they can blame it on other stuff.
Exactly.
Like the 4 for 4 is going to be $6 this summer, guys. So
no, but we didn't go to war. Oh, you want some more? You want some more?
Gas is going to be expensive this summer.
The gas, whatever, but don't mess with my 4 for 4, man. Come on now.
Wow. What else is in the topic lineup? Okay, so we talked about that. Maybe we talk a little bit more about local stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of local stuff?
Some current events.
Current events, right? Oh, what's up?
Well, I was just going to say, we were talking about Houston entertainment. Bun B's going to be at the Houston Rodeo this year for it. So, rapper Bun B from UGK.
One and only Underground Kings.
Underground Kings. Okay. He's going to be what us black people like to call be on Black Night.
Oh, okay.
You know how they have Latino Night.
Of course.
They don't like to call our night Black Night.
Ours used to be called Tejano Night, and they changed it to Latino Night because there's no more Tejano music after Selena died. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a big fan?
I heard they were going to book the Migos for Tejano Night.
What? Are you serious?
No.
Oh, that would have been badass. Because it is, Migos. It's kind of Spanish.
Right.
It's kind of
right. Book Four Locos. That sounds like a Spanish group too.
No, it is.
But yeah, so he's going to be there, so I'm excited about it.
When is that?
March 11th.
March 11th. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited because wherever the rodeo is now.
The rodeo.
That's where the rodeo is. Mm-hmm. Like I'm excited about about this.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Who else is
Cake.
coming? Who else is
yeah.
coming? What are the artists that are coming?
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm just all about the cook-off.
Oh, the cook-off.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I'm excited
tonight.
about the
Oh,
cook-off.
that's tonight.
Well,
Oh,
it's
that's
tonight?
Oh, no, it's
Tonight
2
is
weeks,
the
right?
first
Oh,
night.
It's 2 weeks, right?
No, this weekend. This is it.
Just one weekend?
Just weekend.
I'm going to
It's the
Mardi
first
Gras
time-
this
it's the first
weekend.
time since COVID hit that they're going to be.
So they haven't done it in 2 years
right,
because of COVID.
right.
Yeah.
Ooh, man,
So
it's
this is
gonna
the
be
first time in 2
good.
years. Yeah, it's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
awesome.
But
Gotcha.
can you know how they do like the taste thingy? Can they do that now with COVID?
So they're gonna have to do it in a special way. I'm guessing. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it, but I'm guessing if they do it the wise way, which is how restaurants started opening up in California, which is they just made everybody wear gloves as they were touching stuff. So they can be careful with it. But I don't know how they're gonna do it. But I'm sure. I mean, they're gonna do it. And then again, this is Houston, so they really don't care about the
We don't
mandates
care
too
about
much.
COVID no more.
Exactly. It doesn't happen in Texas. So it's still gonna be, even though it's.
Oh, we got a 2 cough minimum, and
know,
at least when
man.
you're in my presence.
When you do that, we have to report you.
Yes.
We're live. You report what? I'm live.
I'm just saying. I'm going to report you to my people, and that's going to be a fine.
Yes.
I'll try to keep it down.
So it's just gonna be a little cold and raining at the rodeo tonight.
It's worth it.
It's
worth
and this
it.
is. I
It's
feel
worth
like
it if you have tickets or coupon or tickets to go into somebody's tent.
exactly.
No.
I feel like every memory I've ever had at the rodeo cook-off has been raining and
Let's
cold.
talk about this rodeo situation, which is you buy tickets, and people sometimes get the tickets, and they're like, "Oh, the cook-off,"
Right.
and you get to the cook-off, and you're like, "Yeah, oh, I don't have a ticket to go into
Right.
none of those."
You
private
think you have a ticket, and then you get there, and they're like, "You may stay outside
I want us party
among all the peasants. Enjoy your peasantry."
That's
As
just
we
to get you in the facility,
Right.
but you got to still get
Yes,
into.
A tent.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right.
correct. Now they
Yeah.
do have like a general tent.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been to the
That's where
general
all the
tent.
white people chili is with no food.
no,
I've been-
that's where all the brown folks who didn't get a tent ticket hang out.
That's for all the renegades,
Yes.
all the ignorant folks, like I've been.
Yes.
In cold, rainy days. Like
Yes.
Your
today.
uncle with
And everybody's looking jazzy in their cowboy outfits.
Yes.
Wet.
Yeah. I'm out here. I'm gonna taste some. I'm gonna. Get
So yeah,
something out of
the
this.
big general tent on the ticket, it's like we got live music and free
Yeah.
food,
It's a
and you're
set.
like, oh, this
Woo!
is awesome.
They sell it
Then
to
you
you.
get there and it's this ginormous tent and this like peasant line of people, and they
Peasant
give you a
line.
slot.
And then you are in the line.
Yeah, it's just like a slot
this
of
good.
barbecue that they give you
It's
and,
worth
and a pickle, and they're like, here you go, get out of
And
here.
a pickle.
And they're like, go ahead, have fun. And then you walk outside, and they're like, well, there's live music. Where's it at? Oh, there's a stage right over there, and you go over there, nothing but drunk cowboys just making
Yeah,
stuff up.
beer is the drink of choice at the
Oh,
rodeo.
yes.
So much beer is consumed.
It is
during
flowing
the
through
rodeo.
the streets of Houston right now.
Like it is, and there's nothing crazier than certain people on beer.
Who are
at the
those people
rodeo.
you're talking about, Nitra?
Them people.
Them.
Oh my goodness, oh
You
my
know
goodness.
them
No,
people.
I have to go that
They're
far.
not watching this podcast. It's okay.
Who knows? Who knows how far this thing will go?
In that case, subscribe.
If you're there, subscribe. And please some gentle remarks, please. Gentle, kind
No,
remarks. about-
those people that like avocados.
Unless, are you right? Correct.
yes.
Beer and avocados, come on, that's all delicious.
I think y'all should start an avocado festival.
There's already one. They already
I want to start a farm.
That's right. That would be actually the more strategic thought with regards to like avocado situation. Oh, it's World War. No.
Avocados and mangoes is all I need in my life.
Oh, that's it, huh?
That's it. That's all I need to survive.
No woman.
I mean, that's what I meant by
mean-
mangoes.
When,
Boom! Thank you very much. I'll be here all night.
if you ever cut open a mango,
You know,
no,
it
my
looks
goodness.
nice.
Okay. So the rodeo. Okay, we have
Yes.
one artist that we know about. I thought somebody else was coming that was like popular. I mean,
Oh
I'm sure
man,
they
there's
are.
a lot of country artists that are really popular. They're coming, but
I only
it's
know
country.
about Black Knight.
Yeah, I don't know about Latino night.
What else do we have? We have negotiate lower prices.
Do you have any stories? Do you have any crazy stories
For
from the rodeo?
for sure.
Can you
The
give us
rodeo-
one?
Let me think about the one.
If y'all don't know, Robert Roberto here used to party back in the day,
What?
and we have some funny stories. One of my best jokes that I've ever done in my comedic life was something that he said, and it's just so gold. Can I tell that story?
I mean, you can. Yeah, sure.
So we're camping in Lagrange,
Them
no,
camping
in
stories.
Austin with the float the river thing.
Yeah.
And we're the loudest, drunkest Mexicans by miles,
Sure,
right?
for sure.
Latinos.
Nobody gave us the
right?
explanation
Did you
of,
do the sound?
hey, it's camping, it's
Yes,
outdoors.
absolutely. The
24
Mexican
hours.
grito.
Camping is 24 hours, right?
Constantly.
What is it
Camping is
called?
24 hours.
Grito.
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 Okay.
So we're all screaming and yelling and we're loud, and so of course the non-brown folks call the cops on us, right? So a cop shows up and he's telling us to keep it down, and we're like, yeah, absolutely, no problem, yes sir, officer. And as he's walking away,
We're saying it just like that. Of course,
officer.
No
Absolutely.
problem.
We're all eloquent at this moment,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
And at that, right when the cop turns around, this guy goes, Este puto pendejo no saben. He just starts cursing in Spanish about the cop. And the cop turns and goes, I know what a puto is.
A puto.
Oh, man.
But does he know what a putón is?
Putón!
Yeah,
not. Exactly. So any fun rodeo stories like that?
The one of the ones that I remember was the one that I just shared, which is essentially going into the rodeo in a cold, rainy day. And it was about an hour's worth of walking, actually, before my mind realized, oh, none of these tents are going to let me in because I don't have a ticket to none of them. And then I'm with a friend of mine, my cousin, actually. I was with my cousin.
So 2 guys?
Yes.
No way you're getting in a tent.
Dang.
2 guys?
Wait, were you dressed in
I think I was wearing just normal stuff, something like this, like pants and jeans.
You'd have had the jeans and the boots and the hat and the
maybe.
belt.
I learned.
You would have blended more. He would have blended more.
The premium advantage wasn't available to me then. I was ignorant to that fact. Now I have learned. I'm an educated person, and I will go just by myself in the boots and a cowboy and walk around in the cold night, and hopefully somebody will let me in now.
One of my favorite stories, I was with JR and Madi and all of those fun folks.
That sounds like 3 people.
And I think you were there actually this night.
Oh, I was in there.
I mean, I don't remember. This was back in the day.
So
we go into a tent and we get there. Somehow we got everybody in at this very last minute. And of course, they're closing. So they're like, everybody got to get out now.
Yeah.
So we're all just like, oh man. So I had this sweater with like hella pockets. Everybody just starts filling my pockets with beers. So I'm just like, and it's so heavy with beers, just like falling.
You work out, don't you?
Yeah, they're like, So, and I don't even know what's happening because I'm drunk and they're just like filling my jacket with beers and my hoodie with beers, like everything. And so I'm like, I can't get out of here with all these beers. And so the whole group just surrounds me. And we just walk out together as a group. Awesome. And we all kept partying and kept. I don't remember the rest of that story.
Oh, right. I'm sure nobody ended up in the car. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Metro.
I bet every beer got drank.
Absolutely.
No beer left behind.
I don't even think I had one for me. I was trying to.
So now I see you mean them people.
Them.
Them dream beer
the
people.
avocado people. Them
avocado people. You know how they are.
Avocado people. I like it. That's fun. What about yourself? You any good or memorable? Doesn't have to be funny or.
Of the rodeo, I never did the rodeo. I always
did
never did the cook-offs. We just always did the carnivals.
Yes, carnivals are great.
Yes.
I love the carnival.
I have more stories about the carnival and the rodeo itself, not about the cook-off.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I remember doing the rodeo where they do the lassos and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I never
fun.
did that.
It's fun to watch.
I never did that either.
Right. My mama wouldn't listen. My mama didn't play that. We gonna get so many tickets at the carnival. Mm-hmm. Don't use them all up in the first 15 minutes because once they gone, they gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we would literally pay to go and be there for 30 minutes. Because my mama was like, nope.
So how good are you at those carnival games? Can you win stuffed animals?
I remember when my nieces were small and I was trying to win my niece a big bear just shooting the basketball. And I was convinced.
The big one? Or the little one?
No, the big one.
The big one.
I was just convinced that the ball was like on some Tom Brady shit.
Right.
It was not even touching the rim.
Right.
It didn't even make it to the goal.
Right.
I'm like, but I'm pushing with all my might.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't good at not the basketball one.
What about the other ones?
But like the one where you shoot the water in the hole with the gun, you can't tell me I ain't sell drugs when I'm shooting like
You're good at shooting it in the hole. Got it.
Yeah.
What about you? You got some tricks?
I'm actually really good at those carnival games.
Really? All of them or some in particular?
Almost all of them.
You look like you used to try to win stuff for girls in high school.
That's exactly what I used to do.
You gotta get good at that.
And it would always work.
Millions of dollars.
Always works.
Millions of dollars just trading.
Hey, you want that one right there? No, I want that one. Okay. Bam, got it. Here you go. Like instant every time. So I've gotten really good at those games. Here's the thing about the basketball shot.
What's that?
People don't know that it's actually, if you can see this, it's actually not an oval like a normal hoop. It's kind of bent in this way, right? So the other thing is it's also 11 feet high. So we're programmed to be shooting 10 feet for years and years of just how we shoot. Then also it's further than a normal shot. So they put it far, they make the circle smaller.
It's a half court shot. They ain't fooling
almost. Me. And then here's the thing, like the way to win that is you have to shoot it high. Because if you go at an angle anything less than perfectly straight down, it's angled so that it won't make it in no matter what you do.
That applies.
So you have to shoot exactly. You got to put it perfectly in.
Right angle.
You shoot it super high and it comes down into it. And it's called also like the basket one, where the basket is tilted and you have to make the ball stay in the basket. Yes. Shout out to Q right here. I know the answer to this.
What?
That one, Q, is my best one. I win every single time.
You know what?
Like the one where you toss the ball
and you have to make it stay in the tub. So I went to Vegas recently and I went to Circus Circus just to play, and they have a whole carnival section up there, and I was just bang, bang, bang. I started handing out stuffed animals to little kids to the point where little kids started crowding around me.
You didn't meet
and
no
I was just,
single moms?
boom, boom, boom. No, I did actually, but that's a different story for the next time. So here's how you do it. So to win at that game, you have to create backspin. So you have to flip it back.
Gotcha.
Second thing, you have to make it land on the lip in the very front. So you make it land on that lip, and it is back spinning, and it stays in the hole. And that's the key. Most people just
land
like throw it
on
in
the lip.
Little backspin, land on the lip, and get in the hole. But folks, there's you can Google this. There's every carnival game.
Google avocados, and it'll
Google
give you a play by
and it's gonna show me a picture of me.
I think we could get maybe some.
If you Google avocado, it'll show you my little ponytail. but seriously,
puny tail.
you can my puny tail. You can learn how to win every carnival game on YouTube, Google, but every one of them has a trick.
Dude.
Gotcha.
But it's fun to win those stuffed animals for your kids, and make those tickets last, like your mama said.
Let me see what else we got here. Okay, so we have rodeo stories. We got a bunch. What else we got? Relationship. Ooh, relationship.
I'm a guru, actually. A relationship guru. I took like one life coach class.
Okay.
And it really spoke volumes to me. And I've been working on this. And my thing is, I'm high. I forgot it.
Relationships. Oh, wow. You're the guru in this relationships.
I know. Remember, I told you I took one class.
You're certified. You're legit now with the one class.
One class? Wow.
I did the free class.
How many classes do you need to be a coach or
I don't
have
know.
a certification?
I didn't want to pay the $435 to be in there, but that free class.
That's all you needed.
Gave
the overview.
Me right. It gave me my vision.
Gotcha.
Well, the point we're trying to get to with relationships is right now. This is the tumultuous time of year.
Yes.
This is the beginning of the year where a lot of relationships are going through tough times because Valentine's just happened. We're projecting for the rest of the year. What are we gonna do for vacations? How are our finances gonna be? Are we gonna have kids this year? Like the beginning, February is usually where people kind of go through these tumult, and it's also in business because it's the beginning of the new year
like
business.
A quarter.
You have to think about the quarters.
Right. So there's a lot of turmoil, and especially with the war and the inflation and the stock market that are making avocados. They're making people kind of butt heads a lot lately.
Yeah, so it's a matter of relieving stress to some degree, right? So it kind of ties it all together with regards to like how frustrated you get whenever things are not happening the way that you thought, because things are going to start shifting a little quicker than you thought, and things may shift, and you have to be able to pivot. And
isn't it common for relationships, or not common, I'd say, but a bad situation when that happens, and then the people lash out on their loved ones? I mean, right? You're frustrated at work, and you lash out on the people that you love.
True.
Right?
There's their situation, obviously, right? Everybody does it. You don't know how you're going to react, especially in unforeseen circumstances, right? So then you don't know where is your boiling point. Where am I going to snap? Just be understanding that this is a situation that we're all in. We're all in this.
Business, love, whatever, right?
For sure. We all have a wallet. We all have the situation that we have of the media that we're listening to. We all got phones. Who don't got a phone? If you don't got a phone, you ain't watching this show.
Right. Subscribe.
All I'm saying is we all have the similar way to communicate, to have an ability to relieve the pressure, right? Communicate with other folks. If there's something that you want to get out, if there's something that you want to get out or communicate, subscribe down below, read the descriptions. You're going to get an opportunity to do that if this is something that you're interested in doing.
Yes.
Right? It's an opportunity for folks to be able to do that, okay?
When it comes to relationship, this week was like a prime thing because we had the date 2/22/22,
okay,
which is 2/22. It's like manifestation.
Right. Yes,
there was like
there was a lot of weddings,
big 2 day.
On that day.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, a lot of weddings.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
yes. That is an I love coincidences like that.
It was crazy because I put that in my phone 2 years ago
to get married on 2/22
at 2 p.m. And it made me. I cried. I was
at
like,
that time,
damn.
at 2 p.m.
On
1:59 and
it reminded me that I was still single. I was like, but when I made it,
2:01, I'm good.
2:19. I was like, it's coming. But yeah, they were saying it was a good time to, if that's what you want. I know myself. I want to get married one day, so I need to be focused on that because I was a wildflower, so that wasn't my thing back in the day. So now I got to reshift my focus.
Yeah, you got to pivot. Yes, correct. Okay, well, that's intriguing. what do single people do these days with regards to, because there's so many apps, there's so much stuff. I mean, you can go out, right? I mean, you're like, oh my God, so much.
I just watched The Tinder Swindler.
Oh, it's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
I started it.
Yeah.
And I was appalled at how some people can really be like manipulated. Like they're that gullible in the mind. You know those people.
Sure.
I mean,
we are
David
David Koresh people.
Right. Everybody is susceptible. Okay? Right. Everybody is susceptible.
True. But I mean, once you watch it, you're gonna be like, "This is some hella avocado shit."
It's because the focus is on just those particular instances. But I'm assuming the message for that situation, it was repetitive and it was encompassing. So this person was very elaborate with regards to their situation.
He'd show you glam, and then
it was like a pyramid scheme.
You believe it, and then he's coming to you for money. Yeah. So he's just flipping women.
It's like a pyramid scheme. He's just like, yo, I got a yacht and I got all these things. I just need a little bit here to make sure these things, and you can be part of this.
Yeah, so that was cool. Like, it made me delete all my dating apps.
Really?
Oh, really?
I deleted all that. I mean, I would never be swindled for money. I mean, you can't lose nothing you ain't got, first of all.
Sure.
But second of all, but there are a lot of impersonators online.
Sure. Yeah,
and you can be whoever you want to be.
That's right.
And I also don't like the fact that when I'm online, doing online dating, I feel like I'm shopping on Instacart. Like, I am scrolling and scrolling. And like, that's actually what my bio said on Hinge. It's like, I feel like I'm on Instacart. Like, will you make it into my basket?
And then when you start talking, it's like it's a job interview.
Right.
It feels like it's like 20 questions about and every time.
Yeah, especially when you're 40s, because it's, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? It's like, listen, don't start the conversation with this, sir. You're 52. You're not going to have a kid.
Right.
Not for me.
Yeah, right.
Why? If you haven't done it in 52 years, you're not going to do it.
Right.
So, it's just, the online dating thing, it's just so impersonal now. I literally just had this conversation with my girlfriends, and people are so desensitized with phones and social media and stuff. Nobody knows how to have a conversation anymore.
It's hard.
You ever call somebody and the first thing they say to you is, "What you doing?" They will text you that exact same thing, WID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like nobody, back in the day when you called somebody, you had to say, "Hello, may I speak to?" You had to have a conversation in order to get to wherever you were going. Not now. It's instant gratification. Like, you meet online, let's meet for drinks at 6:30 at an open place and let's party. Like, and it's not the same.
In public too, right? It's got to be in public.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I'm gonna run the rest of you guys. You guys
can typically.
I should probably be dead. I have so many stories on
that's
going to strangers. Oh my God!
You know what? You make an interesting point. I remember one time I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and the conversation was about brave men. Oh, men have to be, kind of brave to go up to women and like offer them a drink, right? Like, because you could get rejected, or go say hello to a lady and be like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And then you have to be willing to be rejected and have the bravery to do that. And I'm thinking like,
that's a part of being a man.
I'm just saying this was something that I received, right? And then my perception when I heard it, I thought, I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, that's true. Yeah, there's some aspects of that. Women do it too, but I get it. But then again, who has to be braver at that point, which is the woman accepting a stranger's proposal that there's no background for, and then from that part that you just said, it was triggering my memory. I could have been there. But so many times that I met so many people, right. and I thought, this is that conversation that I had with that sparked that thought of, But
we live in a society where
it's a risk on both sides, I guess. I'm risking a little, or a guy is risking a little bit of a rejection. Women are risking, I guess, their lives.
Well, when you do online dating, you don't have to worry about that rejection because it's online.
So the risk minimizes.
Every man has potential online. Oh, I see. You may not have potential in person, but every person has potential online.
Gotcha.
So
because you could create your profile, you can give a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you could be witty in 3 seconds. You can, whole thing, but it'll all come out eventually if you eventually meet them.
There are some people that are really good at dragging it out. Dragging it out,
like catfish people.
I was thinking that.
Who
Yes,
has the time?
Right. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yes. Who has the time? People that don't do anything else. Correct. They spend a good amount of time to dragging it all out for a longer period of time. We moved into conversation into the apps, deleting the apps.
I have some horror stories in dating apps.
What kind of stories?
I've been a horror.
I'm pretty sure horror stories.
I have a horror story and a horror story. It's just I just want to find a nice girl, right? And it's like, I got a message the other day, and I have proof. I have a witness to this. She might actually be in the room right now.
It's not me.
Yes, and it's not you. So I had a girl, and literally a couple messages in. Hello. Who are you? Nice to meet you. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. The whole interview thing.
You should have already a planned response.
I have it already, actually. I just copy pasted.
No conversation, because you don't have to.
Right. And the next thing from her was, you look like you have a good D. And I'm like, oh, thanks. She's like, yeah, I was wondering if I could come sit on your face.
Wow.
And I'm like,
that's intriguing.
Great.
You her cash app?
Send me pictures. She sent me pictures of her boobs.
Oh, wow.
She sent me pictures of
hold on
herself.
1 second. Give me 1 moment, please. When I heard the conversation from the beginning, I felt like you were offended. Now it feels like, well, let me see what you got.
I'm intrigued.
Intrigued.
At this point, I'm like, well, what are you talking about?
Somebody's
right?
gonna make a proposal.
What is this?
I did make the investment of being in the app and answer all these questions. I did answer all these questions. I went to the interview.
But I still just want to find a nice girl, right? So I'm just like, no.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it was confusing.
Where does the intrigue go where, yes, I believe that if I continue this, I could potentially find a nice girl at the end of this particular situation.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to find the nice girl in her.
It's like, but now that we're already filled up the interview.
I'm just going through all of these processes
to find her.
And being intrigued by how forward these girls are these days and how outgoingly, like, sit on your face. You look like you have a good D. I'm like,
well, that's what I was telling him. Like,
not really,
because he was talking about like rejection, like men potentially being rejected by a woman, like having to go up and physically talk to her. And I was saying, well, online, there's no rejection,
right?
Because you don't ever have to message them,
right?
And you know,
so they're fearless.
There's no public humiliation or nothing like that. So you don't have to worry about that. So, you know, it's a total different when
totally different world.
So you have to.
You know what? That actually, that does shift my perception a little bit, with regards to that, which is, there's a set of population that, to some degree, has now kind of desensitized themselves from being rejected. So they're not willing to put themselves ever in that situation, which is a little bit of a disadvantage, I would say. If you have a fear of being rejected because you're constantly putting yourself in a position where you don't risk being rejected, which you grow when you get rejected because you analyze, why did I get rejected?
I just think men need to realize when they're out their class and
sure.
they wouldn't have to worry about rejection.
I would say that is a super statement.
There's another side of the coin of that too, which is persistence. Because I know for a fact, I know this for a fact. I have a very good friend of mine. She's gorgeous, super hot, and she told me this wonderful story about there was a guy that she worked with every day. He's disgusting. He probably had like one leg shorter than the other, just all messed up.
Oh yeah, I got you. But he's
and
that's propaganda.
Every repetition, like we talked about, right? Every day he would say something, and every day she would say, "Leave me alone." Every day. She said, but until one day.
That's right.
Right? Caught her on that right mode, that right mood. He said something funny, and it went down. You know, and she's like, and then I realized, like, man, this guy can handle business. So she dated him for like a month or so. She ended up getting married, like, and having kids. But the point was, she's like, his persistence is what got me there that day. I'm like, wow. So some guys, they'll try and not care if somebody's out of their league because of the thought.
Like the homeless men that to me at the gas station.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Snake. What was his name?
There's a movie out there that reminds me of this thought process, which is 50 First Dates. With,
I remember that.
Sandler.
Yeah, and Drew Barrymore.
So that now that I see it, man, he probably built that into the movie, which is don't be scared of getting rejected for the girl that you're trying to get. Because, the story wasn't really that. The story is that she lost her memory.
But it's about persistence.
Yes, right, correct. How he was like, oh yeah, this one day I met her, but then I had to keep going, and I had to prove my worth, so that it would sink in, and it actually didn't matter whether or not she was the same.
That was actually a really good movie.
It was a good movie. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Definitely, it's part of that thought.
That's how my dates go. If I smoke weed with you, like,
forget it all.
It's like a whole new day. It's like, remember what we did
yesterday?
That's
exciting, though. Then we can do it again.
I know. If I could just remember their names, though. Like,
yeah, we should have them wear name tags or something.
I just call them, Bay.
But there's some
simple.
Have you had any successful dates from dating apps, or at least someone that you're friends with?
Nothing. No, you know what?
I've had a couple.
some people
When I
nothing.
first moved to Chicago, I got on dating apps and I gained 25 pounds because I was going on dates with everybody. I did not discriminate. I was meal
they were just
hustling. I was
always-
broke.
Oh.
Do you know how expensive it is in Chicago? Like I
Meal
literally would get
hustling.
on the app and be like,
Hashtag
I'm,
meal hustling.
I'm starving. Let me see. Okay, he looks like he'll want to go get a scone and
Right.
a coffee. I could use a coffee and a scone, maybe a cake pop.
It's hilarious.
And I gained weight doing that meal hustling.
Yeah, you got to-
Would
That's
you-
when I found out Gelato wasn't a Latina public group. Like I thought it was a pop group. He was like, "You want to
Yeah,
go?"
you didn't know that?
No, it's ice cream. I was like, "Yo, I put on
Yeah.
heels to go eat gelato."
Hilarious. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Did you ever do more than one to get like breakfast,
Yes.
lunch, and dinner and like?
Yes.
Yes.
I used to work at Macy's in the Galleria,
Okay.
and I was a bridal consultant, so I was already acting every day at work. Some days
Right.
I was divorced, some
Yeah.
days I was a newlywed,
Gotcha.
some days I was married for 20 years, you know. So I would be at work, like if I had to work a double,
Oh, okay.
I would have somebody like, you know, come and say hi to me if you're going to be in the mall. And they always would. I'd get off of work, somebody would take me home because I didn't have a car.
Wow.
And then I'd have a show and then meet somebody at a show. Meal hustling.
That
so.
is hustling.
Like I was off the
Props.
chain. I was
Mad
off the
props.
chain, and I think I have bad
Absolutely.
karma. I've had like some of my crazy sex stories from my podcast, Confessions of a Garden Stool. Like that one, you know, those come from stuff like that, like doing online dating and things like that. And a lot of my comedy, you know, so many people talk about it because it's so like normal now.
Yeah,
you know?
it's very relevant.
I hate it. I hate
Yeah, it
online
is.
dating. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
it's so hard.
It's so sad.
It is.
So like it makes me feel desperate, but yet I did it because I was bored.
Well, then again,
True.
there's also the curiosity of this new technology that's coming along. It's like, well, let's try this. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody's saying the same thing. I'm super busy. I don't have time today. I
Yeah,
don't want to
right.
do.
But
So
why
that's
are
why
you
they do
here?
it. Exactly.
Why are you here?
Exactly. Right.
You know, it's you know.
Well, you hear about the most successful relationships. They're usually randomly at the gym or randomly at the grocery store. He came up and said like those organic
the thing
meetings
is, yes.
set up a
So,
foundation.
right, set up the foundation, correct. And so now I start seeing a little bit more of a connection is the more people that are engaged in the apps, the less people that are willing to do that engagement. And so that's why there's supply and demand. With
Boom.
regards to that
Go back to
situation.
supply and
There's
demand.
so many apps.
There looks like
Yeah,
there's
there
a
is.
lack in supply because there's too much apps. Right.
Right.
So the supply and the app situation is creating a lack with regards to the supply and
Well,
the
you know
real
what?
organic
Especially
situation.
with the pandemic, people are like not really going out as much as they used to. Like
Right,
you don't
correct.
meet people
No, not the
like
same
you
way.
used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's not enough- there's not so many
you
gatherings.
want to go out, but you kind of want to be away from people. You
Yeah.
know. And I've seen where some guys, I feel bad for them because they were rejected that hard.
Right.
It's like, damn, girl, you didn't have to say
Right.
all that.
Right.
But
Yeah, well, that's also true. I mean, yeah. come
But
on
then,
now.
I mean, I look at it
But-
from my perspective. Like I'm a bald woman. I wear my head bald, and I hear everything. Men say some of the craziest things to me in public.
Like
and,
what?
Like I was literally in the gas station, and I was only female in the gas station. It was two dudes behind the counter, a dude at the counter paying for his stuff, then me, and then two dudes behind me. And the guy at the register was like, he tells me I'm beautiful, and I say thank you. And then
Okay.
he says, I want to lick your head.
What?
In front of all these dudes.
My
And
goodness.
all I heard was, yo, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And men are like, why don't you find that
Wow.
attractive? I'm like,
What?
because I was like, if my butt was out, would you yell, look at that big ass? Like, you'll respect it with your eyes without making. I hear this so
Who are these
much.
assholes,
Well,
man?
you know, it just everything's about presentation. So if he
Sure.
would have said it in a different light,
Right.
I probably could have. I'm a comedian. I
Sure.
probably could have laughed it off,
Or said something
you know,
back, or it would've been cute. Yeah.
But the way
Yeah.
he blurted it out in front of everybody, it kind of like put me on the spot,
Yeah.
you know. And I was just like, you know,
I like how you're covering your jacket.
Right, my titties were out, but nobody's looking at these titties with this head out, okay? But I'm just saying, like, it made me feel a certain kind of way. And then,
Sure.
you know, people touch me, like men want to touch my head. Like,
What?
I'm telling you, this is a
Who
whole
are
new
these
experience.
people not raised right by their mothers? This is horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't understand
It's-
what's
I don't get
they
that.
think it's
I mean,
different.
Yeah.
They think it's different.
I wouldn't know what to say. We were talking about relationships, and now we moved into this.
Well,
Well, no,
the
it
dating
has to do
apps.
with relationship
Right,
because
right.
it's. I think it's hard. This is my first time dating, being
Sure.
single,
Okay.
bald.
Okay.
It's a whole different dynamic of men.
If I may ask, I don't know. So how long have you been bald, I guess?
Well, I have a hair follicle disease called alopecia. So I've been balding. Yes. I've been balding since I was 30s.
Okay.
And I finally just started shaving my head a year ago.
Okay.
And this past year has been a world. It makes me not want to date because of how men approach me.
Wow.
It's like, dang, I want to date, but I don't want to. Listen, I have a joke where I say a man grabbed me by the back of my neck like I was a pit bull puppy.
Yeah. Oh,
true story.
Yeah.
He grabs me and he's like, this shit is sexy. And I'm like, dude, are you really holding the back of my neck? I'm not a dog. What are you doing?
That is so
weird. I mean, it's possible that you unleash something in this environment where men are used to seeing hair, and they're like, oh, this is new.
I can understand
there's the reaction that they just can't control.
Well, guys do like something different.
I'm trying to rationalize
but to be disrespectful, right? I don't understand.
That's what I can't get with.
Right.
I understand I'm different.
Sure.
But I don't do disrespect well.
Sure.
And
right.
That's when my defense mechanism comes in.
I get it. Yeah, no, I understand.
You know, so I mean, said all that to say, dating apps are the devil.
Yeah. They're hard.
And buy avocados.
And subscribe.
What was the word that he was talking about? The Biden was using. I forgot. Anywho.
Putón.
Anyway. All right. So relationships. Moved on. Super Bowl reactions.
So
reactions.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did anybody watch the game? Because I know everybody I know wanted to see Snoop. And
I just fast forwarded to the halftime show.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But I saw the highlights afterwards.
Oh.
And I know the score. So if you haven't seen our last episode, Roberto right here put down $1,000.
Bam, bet.
If you didn't see the last episode, check it out, please. We have some analytics, and we actually have a live animal to support.
Yeah.
And shout out to Sky, our dog. Our dog that came and selected the winner of the Super Bowl, which is the Rams. So I also suggest you to take the under. So if you took the Rams and you took the under, you made a good amount of money, like I did. Now, also the coin toss.
That's right.
The coin toss was heads.
Yep.
You didn't say anything about that one. I looked at it. The next one was Will Snoop.
No, he didn't.
Will Snoop smoke weed on stage? No.
I was looking. I was like, oh.
And was what Eminem?
The moment that they set it up, I was like, he ain't gonna.
Is Eminem gonna say a curse word?
No,
you said
right.
no.
Yeah.
And then the first commercial.
Yeah. What was the first commercial?
I think the first commercial was a
Chips?
I think it was a fast food commercial. The first one.
All the commercials were lame this year.
They
just had a lot of celebrities in them.
Yeah.
Super Bowl commercials over the years, they were funny. They were comical.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that from anything.
Yeah.
It's just every commercial had a celebrity in it.
Yeah.
It was a form of propaganda, actually. A very, very, very non super entertaining. Nobody was saying, "Hey, let's go look at the commercials like they were before."
Like we were before.
And now everybody was geared for the halftime show, which I mean was good. It wasn't like I thought it was. I thought I was gonna get a new song
I was more
from Dre.
entertained when Beyonce did it.
Yes. Well, it's weird how no matter what happens in a Super Bowl show, somebody complains. That sucked. That was the worst one ever.
Say it sucked.
And some people say it was the best one ever. Like I think it's also your age groups has a factor with that.
Yeah.
Right, because if you're over 50, you don't care about Snoop and Dre.
What kind of crane was holding 50 Cent's thick ass up?
Yo, you know what? Although he does look like a toad now, he totally did that himself. I saw the video where he gets up and grabs and pulls himself and puts his legs in. He still has some strength, even though he looks like a toad.
A little bit of weight.
Well, he went from looking like a beaver to now he looks like a toad. That was my 50 Cent impression.
It sounded more like Bubba Gump, Shrimp from Forrest Gump.
That's hilarious.
That's the sick guy. Listen, where is your man? I'm gonna sound like Deep Throat for the rest of the show with my mask on.
Oh, now you put the mask on. All right, great.
It's like he stuck the head in, and I was like, no. And then I let him do it, and it's like it's too late.
Too late.
Make you feel better. I've been coughing for days. So
either way, we're good.
All right, so good predictions. That's what I like about that situation is that we were able to go through the whole system with regards to the information about football, and then now I'm able to rationalize it a lot better. Can't wait till the next season starts.
Yes.
The next sports are coming up is where we at? Basketball?
Well, basketball is right now.
And baseball
it's
is
getting ready.
March Madness is next month.
That's true. March Madness is coming up. The World Cup is this year.
Yeah, the World Cup is coming in.
What is the World Cup?
Soccer.
Football.
Football.
Yes.
I live right by the stadium.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
I see the little guys practicing all the time.
They may play.
Why they gotta be little?
Some.
Because they are.
That's true.
I'm taller than most.
They are. You
of
are. Yeah, I saw you.
All right. Yeah. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening in the city, in the world, in our relationships, in every relationship that we have. I can't wait to keep going through this. This is a wonderful experience that we are developing here. I thank you guys for the time that you guys gave to come over here and share with everybody your information.
Thank you.
Whoop, whoop.
What else do we have? Is there something more that we can share? Whoa, the promo. Oh, the promo code.
So,
right.
yeah. So, I believe you have a comedy show coming up.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell folks about that?
Well, it's called Women Crush Weekends. So every first weekend of the month at Phil and Derek's Restaurant and Lounge, 1701 Webster. It is Women Crush Weekend, and I'm the host, and it's featuring female comedians. Okay. So, I just kind of got on the soapbox about female comics, and it picked up. So every first weekend I'm there for the rest of the year, and that's cool, and I'm excited about that. And then I'll be in a World Comedy Expo Comedy Festival in Chicago in March as well. So I'm excited about both of those things.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, folks, if you subsub, number one, you have to subscribe to our channel.
And have to have an avocado in your picture.
Have a picture of an avocado.
Don't make it difficult for them.
We're gonna do a raffle.
Raffle's good.
And we're gonna give away 2 tickets to her comedy show.
You definitely want to see me.
Yes, and these are some hilarious people. I don't want to say female comedians. They're just freaking hilarious people. These are legit comedians, and this facility is a great facility. It's a good comedy club. I've been there before.
Okay, so we have a registration link for a raffle coming up.
Right. So look in the description. You'll find our information. Please subscribe first, and then send us an email with your information.
Don't forget the avocado picture.
And avocado picture. And then we'll have you.
We're gonna have to have the avocado picture. But if you do, it'll be cool.
They want to make my giveaway all simple and stuff.
You want to be delicious? You want it to be a delicious?
You just gotta come see this head in person.
If you send the avocado pictures, we will definitely post them. Okay.
Yes. So send us that information, and we'll make sure that you're possibly the winner of our 2 tickets, and we're going to announce that information on our YouTube channel.
Beautiful. When is the show, by the way? Oh,
every first weekend of the month. So March is the 4th and 5th.
4th and 5th?
4th and 5th, or either 5th and 6th.
Are we doing it for this one coming up, or the one for April? Just so we
this
know.
This is March. March is next weekend.
Right.
So yeah, it's next weekend, and then I'm there every first weekend. So whatever first Friday and Saturday of the month, I'm at Phil and Derek's 1701 Webster.
Gotcha.
Great. And
in Midtown.
We're also going to put Netra's website so you can see where she is and some of her YouTube stand-up jokes in the description.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and that is me on the website. It's just I have so many faces of hair. I'm still upset about the ponytail.
Faces of hair.
I'm still mad about the ponytail. Nobody told me to wear a ponytail.
Now you know for next time.
That is trash. Even the film girl has a ponytail. They didn't tell the black people to bring the ponytail. They didn't tell the black people to bring a ponytail.
Oh, it is a new studio, isn't it?
Yeah,
so we have a film girl. We have people. We have audience. This is weird.
They could have told me. I could have grew my. I shaved my chin to come here for y'all. I could have let it grow out.
Or you could have stuck one on the back of your head like the Crouching Tiger.
Hey, my hat has a hole in it.
Man, don't start doing things you're gonna get. Don't start doing different things.
Y'all could have said something, and I could have put the ponytail on first, and then the hat.
That would have been awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
I love it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have questions, descriptions, things you want to add, things you want us to include, please share them. Guys, have a wonderful day.
Namaste.